All right, hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Trading Psychology Mastery course, Lesson 2. Lesson 2 is already here. Very excited. Today we're going to talk about values, affirmations, and gratitude. I'm going to give you tangible, specific techniques and tactics to change your life and your mindset patterns that I use personally and to this day, and they've been very beneficial for me, pivotal. In fact, they're the reason that I am here, that I stand before you, being able to even talk about this stuff. In tonight's session, you might want to get a notebook, any kind, or a blank piece of paper, something you can scratch and scribble on, because there are going to be exercises, all right? And I'm going to show you guys some cool stuff. You're going to participate. You're not going to just listen tonight. And then I'm going to give you some stuff to walk away with so you can practice on your own as well, all right? So grab a notebook if you have one handy. I'll give you guys 20 seconds or so as I load up this web page here that I forgot to do. Forgot to load up something. Silly me. Okay, perfect. I'm good. I'm good to go. All right, guys. First of all, before we get into lesson 2, it's very important to refresh your mind from the previous lesson, and I want to talk about a few things. Here's NLP, man. This is Neuro-Linguistics Programming, man. And we said that the average human, not that the average human, every human, through their 6 senses, 5 senses, the 6 senses, you know, it's not one that many people talk about, but through their 5 senses, they gather 2.3 million bits per second of information. That information is then just only processed at 126 bits per second pace. Therefore, 99.994% of the information is left to your subconscious mind to either delete, distort, or generalize. All right, and there are meta programs that are responsible for developing your state, which then leads to your behavior, which leads to your results. So if you back test or back process that chain, your results go through a series of processing that is really that really exposes you to the potential to make error decisions, error biases, create biases rather, have errors, and really at the end of the day, what percentage of that 2.3 million bits was processed correctly? And really the power of this information is that you choose. You choose what your internal representation or IR is at 120 bits per second, 126. And if you were to live your whole life and process every single piece of information, it's impossible. But if you were, you would only live to be 16 years old. There's that much information. 90 years would pass in 16 years. So it's not good for you. So the human mind generalizes, deletes, and distorts. And through these 3 processes, we remove a lot of the raw information, and then we create it to be what we want. And today we're going to talk about what dictates what we delete, what we distort, and what we generalize, how we process that information. That's where we're going to get a little bit deeper into that today. So therefore, none of us experiences reality, and neither of us experience the same thing as one another. Therefore, reality doesn't exist to anyone. All right? That's the cool stuff here. Another thing we talked about is that your subconscious mind likes to stay on a track. All right? Your subconscious mind likes to stay on the same track until what? Until you get the conductor to make a change, all right, and give it a new direction. Therefore, if you have values that you've had from a very young age, we're going to talk about that in a moment, and you've never changed them, you're on the same track that was put there for you, laid for you by your parents, with good intention, but it was laid for you by your parents, and that's an interesting concept that we're going to dig a little bit deeper into as well. All right, that's what we learned in lesson 1. Ultimately, what all this got to is, we'll get back to this in a second. Ultimately, what we kind of talked about is you accept responsibility for living a cause. Every single one of you is here because they said yes. None of you said no. So you accepted the responsibility for living a cause. It means you accept that you are at cause for everything that happens to you in this world. The other day, I just found out one of my best man was not able to attend my own bachelor party. And so I asked myself, other than get upset or look to blame somebody else, I asked myself, how am I at fault for that? It's the first thing I asked, all right? I've asked that question numerous times every single day since we left. And I want to ask you guys, have you guys been asking that in your day-to-day life? All right, since our last Tuesday lesson, have you been asking, how am I responsible? How am I a cause for this in situations where you would have looked to deflect the responsibility outward? Be honest with me here. Anyone have any profound shifts? I'd like to ask you guys to share this stuff with us as we go along through the lessons. How have you applied this info? And I'd love for you guys to tell your fellow Trade Pro Elite family members how it's worked for you in some specific examples. All right, so as you guys type that out, I'll continue forward, but I love to get interactive here because that's how you're going to learn the most. Use this as an opportunity. It's the only time I'm teaching this lesson live, and then it'll be recorded. All right, as I said that, okay, check, that's recording, good. All right, so what you're going to learn here today is how we're going to do a values elicitation. So we're going to elicit your values. We're going to do some muscle testing techniques and how they're important. I'm going to show you the ultimate state of trading and the mindset in which you always have to remain, and positive results will come. You're going to shock yourself how easily you turn around your trading mindset and then your results by just staying in the state. This alone is worth the price of admission. I'm going to give you some powerful affirmations and a means of using them, some gratitude exercises, and have a notebook handy because all this stuff is going to be very important. We're digging deeper now. We're getting a little bit more tangible. Next week, we're going to get into some neuro-linguistic programming techniques. This is where we're going to get a little bit deeper inside of your mind. Right now, we're just scratching we're peeling one layer of the onion at a time. All right, but it's still profound. All right, let's talk about values. I want to ask you guys this question. How many of you know your values? Personal values. I don't want to know them yet, but do you know what your values are? If I asked you guys, what are your top 5 values? How many would be able to jot them down without thinking about it, right? Not logically, not like, what kind of beautiful human being do I want to be? I think I want to drive this kind of car. Like, it just has to flow out. Like, boom, snap your fingers and they come out. Okay. Now let me ask you guys this. For those of you that said no, how many of you know your company's corporate values that you work for? This is going to be mind-blowing for you. I'm pretty sure that the majority of you who said no, you don't know your personal values, know your 9-to-5 job's corporate values. That's how important it is. It's so important that the companies that we work for that's set up as a pseudo-human, they don't even have feelings or emotions. Corporations are shells, not really a person. They take on an identity, but you know their values, but not your own, right? And values are that important. Values are some of the first things we learn in a corporation when we join a company, in orientations. All right. Tasha mentioned she's got business values for her real estate business. All right. So there you go. So there's 2 different sets of values. Well, let's talk about values. What are values? Okay. And it breaks down to a little bit more than that. Values are what's important to us. All right. Values are what drives us. They're kind of our compass, our moral compass. From values come morals. Morals are a subset of values. They're high-level generalizations that motivate us. That's what motivates our human psychology, all right, based on what's important to us. And from there, we have beliefs, all right? And these are convictions that we trust as being true in order to deliver and fulfill our vision of our values. All right. And from there, we create behaviors through attitudes, which are just collections of beliefs and values around a certain subject. So a lot of the times we try to change and do change work around our behavior. A lot of what we purchase and consume says, change your behavior, change your results. That's the worst thing that you could be told. That's very far from the truth. Changing your behavior takes a long time. Changing your behavior will be overridden by a value. If you're doing something because you value something greater than that, you're not going to change the behavior because your values are the boss. They're going to very quickly whip you back into shape. That's why we have all these crazy systems, 21 days to stop picking your nose, 21 days for all this crazy stuff. You don't need 21 days. You just need to change what you value, and everything, beliefs and attitudes, rewrite themselves instantly in your subconscious mind. That's the cool part. That's why values are so important. We put such an extreme focus in our society on attitudes, behaviors. The right attitude will get you the right things. You can have the right attitude till the cows come home, but if you got values that directly override what you're trying to accomplish, doesn't matter what kind of attitudes and behaviors you're doing. Your values will supersede and override those. All right? That's why it's important that we start with values. Okay? That's what values are. And there's something called Massey's developmental period. This is as psychological I'm going to get in this. All right. Here's what we're going to talk about. 0 to 7 years in a human's life, this is called the imprint period. Has anyone heard of this? This is where the human is a walking subconscious or unconscious mind. All right. This is when quite literally a kid that's going up to be 7 years old cannot hear the word cannot. You tell a kid, do not jump into the puddle. They're jumping into the puddle. If I tell you, do not think of a blue tree, do not think of a blue tree, do not think of a blue tree, you cannot help it but think of a blue tree. So from 0 to 7 years old, you're a walking subconscious mind. You have no critical factor separating your logic from your subconscious brain. You're acting, walking, talking, sleeping, breathing, living at a subconscious level. Interestingly enough, a lot of your values come from here. And I think that a lot of you will find if one of your values is safety or security, you came from a background where your parents may have valued that. And if it wasn't your parents, maybe it was a cultural imprint on you that valued that. All right. You'll find that no matter how much you've developed since 0 to 7, all right, you've developed deeper and deeper and deeper and gotten more specific into one value, right? You've likely narrowed in versus widening out from 0 to 7 years old. So I'm here to tell you that unless you've done change work or unless you know how to make these changes, everything you believe in today, everything that you value today comes from your 0 to 7 years old imprint period. Isn't that mind-blowing? And I can prove that to you. I'm going to work with some of you guys on this stuff towards the end, but unless you've changed it, remember, the subconscious mind has stayed on the same track. Therefore, if you've been told safety, security is the prime, your family taught you safety and security, get a job, stick with the system, which is what the majority of our families have taught us because that's how you survived in the past. It's a new world now. All right. So if you've been taught that and now suddenly you're saying, oh, well, I'm going to go to the gym. That's great. The second you see food, your safety security mindset is going to cause you to binge eat because that's what security and safety is. Accumulating calories, storing them for the future. Doesn't matter what you try to say. I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to the gym. You're not going to do it. You're not going to succeed. I hate to be negative like that. You have less likelihood to succeed. How about that? Because your imprint period dictates that you're on a track to safety and security. And that comes, unfortunately, with adding a few pounds. All right. And then from 7 to 14 years old, you have the modeling period. That's when you start to build a critical factor. What's a critical factor? It's your mind having a little safety net. Here's your subconscious mind and here's your conscious mind. This is where thoughts start to happen. This is logic. This is rationale. This is the part that people value the most. How smart are they? Smart has nothing to do with logical decisions. Logical decisions are way overvalued because good logic makes a good employee. All right. Critical factors start to develop from 7 to 14 years old. That's when kids start to get really testy. No, I'm not putting my shoes on. They have an ability to accept or reject ideas. They look up to people outside of their parents. That's why we have superheroes. This is where we look to the outer world for development. All right. This is where we start to model what we see. Monkey see, monkey do. You say something to a 7-year-old, they're going to repeat it. And they're looking for something to repeat it and mimic. And then 14 to 21 years old, you have the socialization period, which means your sources of values come from people you associate with. This was the part of my life that I had challenges with because from 14 to 21 years old, I really didn't have, aside from my parents, I really didn't have any positive influences in my life. I didn't have somebody to show me what I was supposed to do. Everybody was telling me what they didn't want. Everyone was scaring me away from things. I was running away from things my whole life from 14 to 21. All right. I was being taught that from the people associated with, the right way to do things are to run away from something. All right. That was me personally. And until I developed my own mindset and became my own person through what I'm going to share with you guys throughout this course, I was running away from things and never running towards something. And it was precisely when I decided to run towards something that my life turned around. All right, so this is a very susceptible period. These values could stay forever, these socialization period values, unless you change them. Remember, you're accepting responsibility. All right, and then the 21 to 35-year-old period is the business persona. This is the career building period where people learn from their managers, bosses, corporate values, and the environment through which we learn. So I want you guys to sort of sit there and think and ask yourself, of these four, I'm going to ask you the question. You write it in your journal and you need to answer it on your own time just so we can go forward. Through these four, what percentages of your values, and if you don't know your values, it's okay. We're going to learn that today. What percentage of your values came from each one of these 4 areas? And you'd be shocked. You'd be surprised to find out everyone's going to be different. There is no template. There is no right answer. There is an answer. You can even take away the answer, say there just is. All right, everything just is. Sources of values. Where are some places we get some values? Well, we have a lot of places. Our family, like I mentioned, our friends, the people we associate with, different stages of our lives, religion, school, geography, economics, media, everything. There's a lot of different places where we could pick up on values. This is why every one of us is unique, because we're our own combination of values and our own combination of 126 bits. All right, and that's the cool part. No 226 bits are alike. And here's the life wheel. Here's what I want to show you guys. When you think about the rest of today, I want to talk about career and focus on trading. So you have 6 different areas of your life that you could pull values regarding and work on self-development for. It's career, it's family, it's relationships, personal growth and development, health and fitness, and spirituality. And there's a lot of things that overlap and overlay. For example, I think there's a relationship with you and every one of these categories. There's a relationship between you and health and fitness, between you and personal growth and development, which is you and yourself. But for today's values, I want to focus on kind of career. But when I ask these questions to the person that volunteers, I don't want you to think about answering them. I just want you to answer them. I don't want you to think a certain way on like, oh, I want to answer this or that. Just think general. Whatever comes to mind is the right answer. The answer that you try to think about is not the answer that I want. I want the answer that I asked the 0 to 7-year-old that they just blurt out. You know, the cute things 7-year-olds say that it's like, that's so inappropriate, but you're going to get away with it because, you know, you're young. That's the response that I want. Anything's okay. Nobody's going to judge. All right. So I need a volunteer to go on the, hold on, let me just get this thing. All right, this you don't. If you're gonna volunteer, wherever it is, you don't have to do anything. You just have to talk. I'm doing all the work, and then you're gonna have some homework too, obviously. Who wants to jump in? All right, Len, you want to go on the mic? Are you okay with the mic though, or text? I think Tasha said she's gonna rock paper scissors here. We've got 2 volunteers. Wow, you guys are so eager. Tasha, we'll do this together when I meet you. How about that? All right, Len, I'm bringing you on the mic. Let's give it a shot. Tosh, if you don't mind being on standby for this. Where are you, Len? And as I'm asking Len, I want you guys not to listen to Len. I mean, Len's probably a good guy, but I want you to think about what your response would be as well, right? I want you guys to think about this as it comes up. Let me shut down this little eye blinking thing. Hi, Leo. Hey, Len, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Amazing. Yeah. Hey, welcome, Leonard. Thank you for stepping up and volunteering. I really appreciate it.
Sure, no problem. Thank you.
Can you guys hear him? Can I just get a confirmation that you guys can hear Len?
I see a raised hand.
Okay, perfect. All right, Len, we're going to have some fun. I'm going to ask you a few questions. None of them are embarrassing. None of them are going to be something that you're judged on. Just be free and open. Is it all right with you if we take a deep dive through some of your personal values?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Amazing. All right, so as I go through and ask you these questions, Len, just give me the first, have you ever thought about something and you're like, oh, what should I say? And then something just pops in your mind?
All the time.
Yeah, perfect. You're in touch with your subconscious. Give me that answer, the one that just wants to come out without you thinking about it. All right?
You got it.
All right. So what's important to you about your career?
Money.
Money. Excellent. What else?
Longevity.
Longevity. Excellent. What else?
Comfort.
Comfort. What else, Len?
Wow.
Keep it going. Don't think. Come on, Len.
Ease of work. Not
Ease of
looking
work.
to work hard. Yes.
Amazing. What else?
Retirement.
Awesome. What else?
I'm starting to think now. I
No
don't have
thinking.
to.
If you did know, what would it be, Len? What's on the tip of your tongue?
I'm out of stuff right there. I'm diving deep into thinking because I'm thinking about my own career, and I'm retired.
Amazing. So yeah, you did mention that. So that's kind of your time with. Let's switch it maybe to trading, like your career as a trader. What's important to you about you being a trader?
Creating wealth,
Creating wealth. Okay. What else?
managing 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 losses,
Okay. What else?
learning new things.
Okay. Perfect. What else?
I'm a people person, so I like to meet people.
So okay. Meet people. Awesome. What else, Len?
Uh, I like to I like to give money away. I'm into philanthropy.
Philanthropy. Excellent. Giving. It's
Hmm
really nice of you. What else, Len?
Mm. Generational. I'd like to be able to teach this to the folks coming up behind me.
Excellent. What else?
Security,
Security. What else?
comfort,
Comfort. All right. What else?
vision.
What else? Notice how they're coming out, guys.
Oh wow. Vacation.
Vacation. What else?
Mm. Seeing the world. That's it.
Travel. Okay. That's it, meaning there's not much more?
Not much more.
Okay. Perfect. That's a really good list. You guys notice at some point, Len, yourself as well, after kind of ease of work, retirement, how when we kind of cracked it open and we talked about trading, I guess because it's something you're still doing at the moment, it really opened up the responses. You just poured out. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
I think
because
that's when we tapped into the subconscious right there.
I really love trading.
Awesome. That's amazing, man. Thanks a bunch, Len. I'm going to ask you for one more thing in a couple minutes, but I'll put you on mute
Okay,
for now. Thanks for volunteering.
gotcha. You got it.
And I have these written down for you, so I'll send them to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Thank you for volunteering. All right, so that was Len jumping on the mic, and we pretty much what you want to do with yourself is ask yourself what's important to you about and the one aspect you chose of the wheel. You got to really, if somebody could help you with this here, that's the most beneficial. Just because when they just say what else, what else, what else, you keep dropping a bucket in the well and taking something out, and you're going to notice a point at which it starts to flow, it just starts to come out, and you're not really in control of it anymore. And it started to happen with Len somewhere around retirement. And that's kind of the values. That's when you start to really remove your critical factor and it flows from the inside out. Just ask that question, what else, what else? And you keep going until nothing more comes to mind. You basically said travel, that's it. You told me that's it. No more, George. That's all I got. And that's good. And then what you would ask in that time is, actually, Len, can I put you back on?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you remember a time when you were totally motivated in the context of your career?
Yes.
Perfect. And as you remember that time, you don't have to tell us, what was the last thing you felt just before you were totally motivated?
Appreciate it.
Appreciated. Boom. Sometimes that one doesn't come out. We got to ask a few extra questions. That's great. And then what's important to you about that, about appreciation?
Satisfaction of the work you do. I like to get self-satisfaction out of what I do.
Amazing. So fulfillment, satisfaction, that sort.
Absolutely.
Excellent. All right. Thanks, Len. I'll bring you back on in one more minute, one last time.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. So what we did there is that last one. There's another step that I don't like to go into in this process, but actually we might. Just one second. So what you want to do here is review your list of values. So Len had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 values. If I told Len, hey, we're gonna get 19 values out of you, there's no way he would have said, yeah, we are. It's a lot. So what you want to do is review that list and ask yourself the following. Len, this is personal. I don't know if you want to jump on and answer this. Maybe answer this in text. All these values being present: money, longevity, comfort, ease of work, retirement, creating wealth, managing money, learning new things, meeting new people, philanthropy, generational security, comfort, vision, vacation, travel, appreciation, satisfaction, fulfillment, is there anything that could happen that could make you leave or stop desiring your career as a trader? Think about that. And just type it in text. And then we'll read it out. But you guys ask yourself that question as well. And if nothing comes out, great. If something comes out, that's an important thing that you value. That's another value that we just tapped in. The one thing that could happen that would make you not desire it. All right? A lot of the times this could be a negative, but this is something we need to get out because it's kind of like a crutch. It has to come out. All right? And then you flip it back to positive, say all these values now being present, plus the one you just mentioned, what would have to happen such that would make you continue to desire it? You have to read this terminology and language because it's designed to elicit subconscious values. All right, so you basically go values. What's the one thing that will cause you to not want it? Then what's the one thing, despite that one thing happening, that would make you continue? And those last two values are sometimes the most important things that you need to know, that you wouldn't have known without going through that list. Did you have one, Len? Something that would have to happen that would cause you not to desire it? And then one thing that after that would still make you continue to desire it? Just curious. Don't have to tell me what it is. Just let me know if you got something else. All right, after you ask yourself those questions, and I know it sounds very simple, but I guarantee you if you do this with a partner, you're going to get a lot of responses you didn't know were in there. What you want to do is go in our Trading Psychology Mastery course. All right, go into Lesson 2, Values, Gratitude, and Affirmations. This is still Lesson 1 because I haven't put the recording up, just a placeholder. And I want you guys to print out this personal value sheet. All right, you just click this big arrow at the top, it opens it up, and you could print this worksheet. And I want you to take the 19, Len, that I'm going to email you tonight. All right, I want you to take the 19 and reorganize them in the order of importance. All right, and there's a few other questions that I've included that you could ask to really clean them up. So if you're ever conflicted, you're like, I don't know, comfort or ease of work, I don't know which one goes first. There's some questions that you could ask. All right, like what's the most important to you? That's one thing you can ask yourself. And then what's next? Continue to ask these questions and rewrite them so you have your top 10. Values are not stagnant. Values will actually change. Oh, Len, sorry, you're blinking on the other window. It's because I see. Okay, perfect. I didn't see your message because now it's part of the organizers and not part of the general question. So I apologize. I'll look there when I ask you stuff. So when you rewrite your list of the top 10, print them and have them handy on your trading desk. Why? Because when you hit a snag, when you hit a repeated amount of loss, I want you to look at that list and know your values and know why it is that you're doing what you're doing. All right? Just tell yourself, this is why I'm doing this. I either choose to do something else to accomplish these values, or this is part of my values and I continue. It's very important to know what drives you. All right? It's important to know what drives you before you start driving anywhere. So I want you guys to do this exercise. Everybody, I want to get your commitment. You're going to elicit your values and print them on there. Somebody needs to help you with this. You know what's cool? Tell them, hey, instead of watching Netflix, elicit my values and I'll do yours. There's a nice Friday night date for you guys, eliciting values. Me and my fiance do this all the time. We do our values every month or so just because we go through a lot of change work at the moment. We're changing our ideology, not ideology, but we're changing a lot. We're going through a lot of personal development at the moment. All right, and then after you take that top 10 list, go to each one of those values. So basically what you do is, with Len's example, I'd say, Len, money. What's important to you about money? Then you would tell me. And what you're looking for here is, if we did money, actually, let's try it, Len. Let's try this one last thing. I did tell you I was going to pick on you one more time. All right, Len, what's important to you about money?
Money is a tool, so I see it as something that I can use to help people to actually build comfort, build security, build. I'm a big comfort and security type person. Security is one of my businesses.
Amazing. What else would be important to you about money?
Uh, to be able to help. I'm going back to the help people again, because I know there's a lot of situations and circumstances out here that money can fix. That
Yeah.
money's a quick fix for. So
Excellent. Well, you said help. Whenever you repeat the word, you pretty much have got what you're looking for. That's amazing. So, first of all, that's amazing, Len. Thank you. That's kind of what I'm trying to do as well. You said two will help others. That's awesome, man. You're a good heart, good soul.
appreciate it.
Keep
Thank
it
you.
up, brother. All right, man. Thanks so much for volunteering. I won't pick on you anymore.
No problem.
I appreciate it. You can start drinking beer again. Just kidding. All right, awesome. Thanks.
All right, you got it.
Cheers. So notice, so you're going to go through for every one of those values and say longevity, what's important to you about that? Comfort, what's important to you about that? And you're going to go through every single one of the 19 values. And what you're looking for is whether you are motivated in a toward or away sense. All right. Basically, toward means I want security for my family. That's a toward motivation. And then you want to ask yourself, what percentage am I toward, which percentage am I away motivated? For Len, because he said money, it's a tool. I want to help people. I want this, I want this, I want this. He's towards motivated, 100% towards, 0% away. Now, if he said, you know what, what's important to you about money? I don't want to be poor. All right, that's away motivated. You want to get away from something, not towards another. And if somebody just said, I don't want to be poor, I don't want to live in a crappy house, I don't want this rusty car anymore, that's 100% away. All right, and you need to know what part of your values you're toward and away motivated from, because that defines who you are. And remember, values define everything below it. We'll talk about that in a moment. So that's the point of the exercise. Get all your values in step one, categorize them into the top 10s, and now ask what's important to you about first value, second, third, all the way up to 10. Figure out what percent you're toward or motivated for each one of those values. The ones you're toward motivated for, you want to motivate yourself in a sense of showing things that you're chasing. So for Len, I would put some kind of imagery in your vision board when you do create one. We'll talk about that next class. Helping others, you helping others somehow, not putting a picture of just the dollars, because the money doesn't mean as much to you. I know it, Len. Correct me if I'm wrong. The money, you said yourself, is a tool to help others. So don't put a picture of money. Put a picture of helping somebody else, because that's what's going to help you do. That's what these values are so important about, to know whether you're toward or away motivated. You guys have any questions? Who's committed to trying this? Len, I'll send you yours. You could try them. I'd love to see yours. I could help you out for volunteering. I could kind of sort of go through them with you and give you a little bit of feedback on what they look like. All right, that's a values elicitation. Important notes on values. Values are not permanent. They can be changed. The majority of the time, they are not changed. Therefore, you stay on the same track. Remember, subconscious mind's a train on rails. I could change them for you using NLP, but if Len tells me that money, comfort, and longevity is the most important three values, the top three of his, I ain't touching any one of those three. It's too much of a profound shift on your identity if you change your three values. So we can't change the top three. We could work with them, within them, but we can't change them. All right, and I'll show you techniques on how to change them, by the way, in the next lesson. Once we kind of know your values, then we start to change stuff. That's where it gets exciting. You take lesson 1, you take responsibility for your own actions. You live a cause. Lesson 2 is you know your values. Lesson 3 to 7, we change stuff. Now, we're going to change stuff today too, by the way. Some of the stuff, the top 3 need to be done via one-on-one. There's Skype calls that we could do. I actually refer some of this stuff out to other people who are more professional at doing this. This is all they do every day, more trading related. And I can refer you to other practitioners. My fiance's pretty much certified. She's a trainer certified. She trains other people how to do NLP. So she's right up there. But no values are right or wrong as well. They just are. I want you to know that. If you said, I don't know, some crazy value, I don't even want to make stuff up like that because it's sensitive. But if you said something that might sound weird to somebody, that's okay. That's your value. It's not wrong. All right? You are, every one of you are beautiful, perfect people with amazing memory in every single way. You guys are perfect. All right, we're all one. We're all just created out of the same matter, same material. If you look at quantum physics, it's crazy how connected we really are. All right, once the values change, your entire unconscious mind will reshuffle your beliefs and change new behaviors. That's why it's a little risky to do the top three. Right, which is going to lead to new attitudes and behaviors. Here's some values that you could work with. I didn't show it to you at first, Len, because I wanted to get your own, but here's a few. You said fulfillment. You had a few of these already. You said security was one of your top ones. So I would never get you to change your security. I would always get you to value it, but we're going to work with it knowing that. All right. Value types for trading. Here's the top three. If one of your top three is security and safety, and I would imagine that when you guys do this exercise, a lot of you will have security and safety in your top three. First of all, don't panic. This is a deeply rooted human survival value. All right. You don't value security and safety for no reason. You value it over thousands of years of evolution. Nothing's wrong with you. Psychology believes they fix people. They fix wrong things. Neurolinguistic programming believes everyone's perfect. Just do change work and get better. All right. It occurs in families with lack of wealth, whether there's generational lack of wealth or limiting beliefs about success. Rich people are bad people, that kind of thing. Not always, but it does tend to occur in that. Also, it could be cultural, all right? It could be religious. It could be a number of things. Nothing's right or wrong. Trading is neither of these things. It's not secure nor safe the way that we most likely view it as a business. However, there is security and safety in it if you condition your mind to see it differently. We'll talk about that in a moment, all right? You got to shift your mindset to see the opportunity and potential. It's hard to look at security and safety when you're running away from things that are not secure and safe. If you had a universe of all possible events and all you're focusing are the things here that will not lead you to safety and security. Oh my God, trading is going to lose my account. I won't be secure and safe. If I cross the street, I might get hit by a bus. If I lose my wallet, I'm going to get robbed. If you focus on everything that won't bring you security and safety, you won't really see how those things might actually bring you security and safety. You're focusing on the stuff that you're running away from and not towards. So you got to shift your mindset to see the opportunity potential. What could be more secure and safe than making all the income that your family requires while spending more time with them? Right? So you got to kind of shift your mind to see the potential in the security and safety of the job. You can't change to not say, oh, well, you know what? You can't say trading is secure and safe and believe it. You have to kind of slowly work towards that. You got to look at your other values as well. But look at the opportunity. I want you guys, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So if you're kind of wondering, well, how do I change it? You're going to learn in a second. You need to visualize, I just made up a new word, and meditate to see needs met by trading. So imagine yourself, visualize yourself being a successful trader. Visualize how you are a successful trader now and how that's giving you security and safety. We need to associate trading with security and safety because a lot of people have put it outside of the small circle and said it's not safe and secure. Therefore, if you're doing something that's not safe and secure, you're going against your values. So you got to associate the two. So you need to visualize scenarios in which trading is bringing you security and safety, and you need to meditate on that. I meditate every single morning before the open, and I strongly suggest you guys too. If you're new to meditating, you literally go on YouTube and look at like meditations, how to introduce you, kind of do body scans. I'm going to record one for you. My fiance is going to also record one for you. So I'm working on building up the resources around this course as well. All right. I also recommend longer demo periods for trading for people who value security and safety because it'll take them a little bit longer to reassociate trading, security and safety. Security and safety is built how? With a track record, with confidence. That's how you build it. So I would recommend going longer on demo before going live to those people. Security and safety, top value people, you're more prone to emotional trading behaviors. And we'll fix that over the next couple lessons. All right, the biggest way to deal with this is to accept and realize that security and safety are not at risk with trading, even in the worst case scenario. What's the worst case scenario? You lose your whole trading account. Zero, done. You blew out your whole account. What if it doesn't work? What if trading doesn't work? What do you do now? You can always do that again. All right, isn't that simple? Simple shift of your thinking. What if it doesn't work? What are you doing now? You could do it again. And it's that simple. All right, Len, that's 100% the same. Len, you say you pray. You're a religious man. You're a man of faith. I respect that. Meditating is the same thing. You're getting connected to a higher power. When my fiance and I talk about this, I call it a higher power. She calls it a God. It's the same thing. If you look at the principles, it's wildly the same. And I know people that fight about it. No, there's a God. No, it's just a higher power. It's the same thing. If you remove the title, we're all doing the same thing. We're connecting to a higher energy. So yes, Len, it's the same thing. All right, so here's the thing. If you change your environment, your behavior, the potential to achieve things, your beliefs, they're not as powerful as changing your values. And better yet, your identity. I can't change your identity on a webinar. It's unethical, but I can help you change your values. So when you change your values, it will drive change across all of these pyramid facets. Beliefs, potentials, behaviors, and your environment will change, because now you believe in different values. Step number 1, get your top 10 values. Laurent asked me a good question. How do you manage to sort out the values? Is it by how often they come back in the responses, or the common factors between different answers? Laurent, here's how you do it. Once you elicit the values and you write a list of the, let's say, top 20 that you have, right? You ask yourself which one of these is the most important. And then if you can't decide between them, you're probably thinking about it. Get the person helping you list the values to snap their fingers. Say, Laurent, come on. And you say, I don't know. Another response to that is, if you did know, what would it be? And you'll find that you actually do know. Let's carry forward. Laurent, if you have questions, I can help you after as well. We got a lot of stuff. We're going to run a little bit over time today. Surprise, surprise. Now what? Now that you know what drives you, keep this list handy by your trading desk. Review it daily before you start trading. And once you approach the market with a mindset that's congruent with your values, your behaviors are going to lead to a successful outcome. They're going to lead to the results you want. If you start the day by saying, I value safety and security, by trading full time, say, I am a successful trader generating incomes that support my family and give me the safety blanket to do whatever I'd like with my life. All right, say that statement. We'll talk about some more clear statements in a little bit. And then you start trading. Now your subconscious mind is going to take you to success. Whereas if you start and say, I can't help but think I'm going to lose money, I'm only going to lose 500 today, your subconscious mind only thinks about what you're thinking and creates it. Think about loss, there's a loss. Doesn't question, it just delivers. All right? That's why your values are important. So now you can create visualizations around them. Here's something cool. Muscle testing for congruency. Once you do your values, we're going to use the values in the next session. I'm going to give you a little bit more depth on them, on how to start changing trading behaviors around values and around the self-sabotage cycle. But here's a muscle test. How would you guys like to know how to find out what you really believe in your unconscious mind? Like, you could say, I am a confident man deserving of success. But do you really believe that? How would you like to know when what you say doesn't actually line up with your unconscious mind? I got a really cool strategy for you guys. Remember, before you do that, your unconscious mind stores all memories and moments. Our values and identity steer the decision-making process. So, how would you like to know what your unconscious mind believes? Well, here's the lean test. What's that, Richie? Sorry, I might have missed that. How would you like to know? The lean test. Here you go. Here's a fun little exercise. In a moment, I want you guys to stand up and stand straight. If you have speakers and not headphones, you can stand up right now. All right? And I want you to say, my name is Christian. None of you are Christian here. Well, not faith. All right? I want you to let your arms loose to your side, relax your body, kind of just shake it out like it's a little bit of a stretch. All right? And say the following sentence. My name is NASDAQ. All right? Notice which way you leaned when you said, my name is NASDAQ. Did you lean forward or backward? Who leaned forward? Did anyone lean forward? You said, my name is NASDAQ. Close your eyes, say it again, and notice. Say, my name is NASDAQ. Close your eyes this time and do it. And let me know which way you guys lean, forward or backward. It might be the slightest lean, so pay attention. And if you have somebody to witness and see it in you, it would be very helpful. Okay, now say my name is and your name. Which way do you lean? Say my name is, if you're David, say my name is David. Here's the cool part. After this webinar, not now because there's a lot of pressure on you and your brain's all discombobulated, I want you to stand up and say, I am a successful trader. And notice, get somebody to help you, your spouse, whatever it is. If they think you're crazy, they're not supportive. Get somebody else. And ask them to notice which way you lean. If what you're saying is congruent with what your unconscious mind has been programmed to believe, remember, we could change things, that's why we say program, you're going to move forward. If I say my name is George, I will physiologically move forward without fail. I cannot lean back saying the truth unless I'm trying to. The reason being is when you say something that makes sense, it sort of aligns the energy. It says, yes, that's true. So you get a surge of energy, your muscles tighten, and you actually lean forward. When you say something that's false, you get a very temporary short circuit. It's like, I am a successful trader, but wait, you value safety and security. Oh my gosh, that's going to blow out your account. Split second, you cut the energy as a short circuit and you lean backwards. Without fail, this works 100% of the time for 100% of the people. If you're not trying to cheat it and asking the question as if though you feel it, you're really into that. I say, I am a successful trader. You'll find out what your mind thinks. It's really cool stuff. It's not a fortune teller. It just tells you what you've programmed in your 126 bits. David said he leaned backward with NASDAQ and forward with his name. There you go, David. You're proof of it. Some people lean forward on NASDAQ. I would say you guys try it afterwards, and I'd love to know if you guys, maybe you have a reverse, or maybe you really believe your name's NASDAQ. I don't know. I'm not going to ruin your party. Who am I to stop you from that? All right, notice which way you lean, and that is 100% your physiology is going to dictate what you think. It doesn't fail. It never does. Works 100% of the time. Arm testing is a little bit different. You need help with this one. You basically stick one of your hands out vertically. Just basically lift it straight up from where your side is, from your thighs, just shoulder height parallel to the ground. And you need a person to help you here. You could do another one with circles, but that one doesn't work as well. Have somebody press down on your hand after a statement. So if you say, my name is David, and as soon as you say it, have them press down on the top of your hand, opposite side of where your palm is. They just basically press down on it. You can put it on your wrist as well with 2 fingers and push down. Without fail, when you tell the truth or when you tell statements that you believe, you'll have enough energy to hold off their pressure down. If you bench press 3,000 pounds and a little scrawny kid from high school puts his 2 fingers on your arm and you lie, it'll bring it right down to your side without fail. It's amazing. Remember, this isn't like fortune telling. It's just what you believe. All right? If your statement's not congruent, your arm will be weak and easy to press. Another test. Another one's the pendulum. This is going to get a little crazy for you guys. For some of you here, I'm going to turn the camera on. You can get these for $7. I strongly recommend that you do. I think this is one of the best ones. Like, hey guys, what's up? You like my shirt? It's like the stars. Basically, you get like a pendulum here. And this isn't like you're getting sleepy. You're getting sleepy, David. The way it works is it's essentially a form of muscle testing, right? Remember, when you say something, in your subconscious mind, it creates it in the physical realm. So if I was to say something like, watch this, hold on. Let me stop. Let me do it facing you guys. All right. Let it just stop. Show me yes, 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 show me yes. See how it's moving forward and back? Not doing that on purpose. Now, if I say show me no, and I just repeat it very quickly, hold on. Show me no, 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 show me no. So I go side to side. I'm not doing that on purpose, I swear to God. And so what happens is because you're telling it what you want and focusing on that, it'll make it move. It's just the small changes in your muscle physiology. It's the same thing as having your arm to the side, somebody presses down. It's the same thing as which way you lean, forward or backward. All right. It's another cool thing. There's other uses for it. You could basically say, am I a successful trader? And then it should move forward. Do I make money? Do I believe I could do this? Blah, blah, blah. You could ask a lot of stuff. Sometimes it'll swing and hit you in the head. Just kidding. But first, the thing you got to do is say, show me yes, or show me no, so you know which way it works. You buy these online, and you could ask them anything that has a yes or no answer. Remember, it's not a fortune teller. It's a subconscious mind teller. All right, here's some testing questions. You guys didn't see that? Oh, that's not good. How to make your subconscious mind believe it before it comes true. Ronnie, that's next lesson. We're going to start to get into techniques. I am a successful trader. Try that, Ronnie. See what your subconscious mind believes. Before we change stuff, we need to know what we're going to change and what you believe in first. So we kind of, with this lesson, just use some questions for tests. Say, I am a successful trader. I deserve to be successful. All right? Am I afraid of success? Do I trust myself to live independent of anyone else? Right? Am I living a cause? Do I have an emotional component that's contributing to my trading? Am I an emotional trader? All right? Anything that you want to know. But the top 3 are the ones that you guys should absolutely try, every single one of you. I am a successful trader. See which way it goes. You do the arm test, the pendulum, or the lean test on all 3 of these. I deserve to be successful. Am I afraid of success? Here's how to apply muscle testing in trading. Before going live, ask yourself, am I really ready to trade with real money? A lot of you guys ask me that. When can I start? You got to ask yourself that. I usually answer, if you are looking for an answer for that, you're not ready. You'll answer that yourself. Before you placing your very first trade, you could ask yourself, am I ready to trade? Or you could say, is this a good trade? And it's not a fortune teller. It just, your subconscious mind knows everything. It has perfect memory. Everything you've read in the course, you might consciously not remember. Subconsciously, you do. It will give you an answer. Trust it. Ask yourself, should I exit this trade now? You're not trusting it to some divine source. You're trusting it to your subconscious mind, which does 99.994% of the work. Do I need to learn anything from this trade? Yes or no? If it's a yes, learn from it. If it's a no, your subconscious mind says, you know what? This is just probability. If you do, what do I need to learn? Any yes or no question will work in a lean test or pendulum. I use this pendulum with me pretty often. All right. Let's talk about powerful affirmations. You guys like good stuff so far? Let me just get a quick drink. Awesome, guys. Thanks. We're gonna you're gonna do your own values after this. This is a lesson I told you. You got a notebook. Do your own values, and then from there we could do a lot of stuff. Do them before next week. You're gonna need them. Here's some powerful affirmations. First of all, what is an affirmation? An affirmation is a statement that you make that will help you change your mindset. All right. So it's a statement like, I could achieve greatness. You could also phrase that in a question. Can I achieve greatness? Ask your lean test. Ask your pendulum. All right. Today I am brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. I told somebody to write this down 10 times a day every single morning. I said, this is stupid. How is this going to make me successful? I don't believe in this crap. You know what I asked them? How many times do you say that a day? If you're going to repeat that nonsense 10 times, why don't you try I can achieve greatness 10 times? Right? So that's simple. I love and accept myself for who I am. You'd be surprised how many people, it's such a basic thing, but aren't accepting of themselves. The only thing that stands between them and success is themselves. Because they don't accept themselves for who they are. They blamed everything else before looking inward. And now they look inward, they don't like what they see. Because now we got to change. Now that I've shown you what's kind of the issue, I'm responsible to help you change it as well through this course. All right, my body's healthy, my mind is brilliant, my soul is tranquil. I believe I can do everything. Everything that's happening now is happening for my ultimate good. That's an amazing statement, number 6. I'm the architect of my life. I built its foundation and choose its contents. My potential to succeed is infinite. Today I choose to be positive, successful, and profitable as a trader. I am a winning trader. I made $600 today. What's your goal, Len? What do you want to make, 1,000? You would say, I am a winning trader. I made $1,000 today. You say that in the morning before you even start. You don't say, I'm going to make. When you say, I'm going to make, you put yourself in a state of going to making. You tell yourself, I made. It's already happened. It is 4 p.m. on, what day is it tomorrow? It is 4 p.m. on Wednesday, May 9th, and I made $1,000 today. Boom. Now you're implanting stuff in your subconscious mind and you're giving it a goal to create. Now it's going to help dictate what's going to happen from here. All right. So there's a few positive affirmations. Here's some really powerful, life-changing affirmations. I'll tell you what to do with them. You're going to have a project here. I'm worthy of a wealthy life. This is recorded, so you can listen back to it. Plus, I've written them down for you. Money comes to me in miraculous ways. I'm deserving of abundance in my life. I am open to receive wealth in many ways. I love my positive, happy, abundant life. The more I give, the more I receive. The more I receive, the more I give. Life is abundant and I am safe. For those of you that have safety and security, repeat that last one. So I gave you 10 positive and a couple powerful affirmations. What you need to do with these is choose 2 affirmations from each list. Write each one 10 times before bed and first thing in the morning. Research shows that whatever you think before bed, your subconscious mind goes to work on. I've asked myself when I've had tough decisions, what should I do? Subconscious mind, please help me out. Tomorrow morning I want to know the answer. And I'd wake up, take a shower, boom, it hits me, the right answer. Can't tell you how, I can't tell you why. All right? Speak them out audibly. So what you would do is you write them 10 times, and I've created a template for you guys under our website. We'll be done in 10 to 15 minutes tops, I promise you guys. So I've also put them here under lesson 2, your affirmations, and I've put them, you'll notice, 2, there's 10 on the top and then 10 on the bottom. You guys could see that. You could print the sheet out. 2 from the positive ones, 2 from the powerful ones. Repeat them. Choose 2, do them for at least 3 weeks, each one of them, every single morning before bed and in the morning. Every single day before bed and in the morning. And then speak them out. After you write them, speak them out 10 times. Who cares what people think of you? If your wife thinks you're nuts while you're brushing your teeth saying, I am powerful, there's other issues there. What if she says, wow, I believe you're powerful too? Imagine what you could create with that. Or your husband, whatever it is. I don't know. All right, think positive, always and in between affirmations. Whenever a negative thought comes up in your mind, I need you guys to do this, acknowledge it. Many people fight negativity. Say, I can't think negative. That's a negative thought. Whenever a negative thought comes in the mind, you're trading. Oh man, why are you doing this? Why don't you just stay at your job and retire in 50 years like your mom told you to? Or in 20 years, your career is almost over. Why are you getting adventurous now? Catch that thought and release it. Don't fight it. Don't ask why. Just release it. Kind of like flowing through a river past you. You're sitting on a rock. You see it flowing. Just let it go. And it goes down the river. Just release it. I actually sometimes will physically go towards my head and just throw it away. Catch and release negative thoughts. They won't serve you. And repeat your favorite affirmation mentally out loud if possible. If not, inside your head works. And that's it. That's what happens as soon as a negative thought comes out. When you think of a negative thought, if you're able to intercept it in real time, you have tremendous power. You're going to start to see ones and zeros falling around like the Matrix. Once you can start to do that, that means you're living in the moment. And right after that, smile. Why do you smile? What do you do when you're happy? You smile. What happens when you smile? You're happy. I challenge you guys right now to put on a smile. Do it as wide as you can. Put on a smile and don't forcefully do it. Just do it. Just put on a smile. How do you feel? There's no freaking way you're going to feel negative. It's impossible as a human to feel negative when you smile. Did you know that? For thousands of years of evolution, something about smiling makes you happy. It's really cool. So whenever you're in doubt, whenever you hit a rut of trading, do these things. Acknowledge the negative thought, let it go, repeat a positive affirmation that you like, and smile. Promise your day will change. Just that one tip alone. I do that a lot. Let's finish with gratitude. Alfonso says smiling feels great. I love smiling. What if you don't believe what you are affirming? Great question. So if you don't believe what it is that you're affirming, there's two camps of philosophy. One says just do it anyways because you will believe it. I like the philosophy of what it is that prevents you from believing it. All right, because then we have things that we could use for NLP to change those beliefs. Because if you don't believe in it, it's either a belief, maybe a value, or an identity. It's not an environment. It's a belief, value, or identity. So we're going to learn how to change those things starting next lesson. I leave you a technique where you're going to touch one of your fingers and you're going to get all. There's actually a way that you could touch one of your fingers and you're going to feel as if though you're drunk. That's a useless thing, so I'm going to do it positive. Make you feel as if though you're the perfect trader through one touch of your knuckle. But we're going to change that. For now, if you don't believe it, just write it anyways. And pretend to believe it. And I'll tell you why in a moment. There's kind of two ways. I don't know. They say within 21 days you could change a habit, but habit's very surface level. It's usually something deeper. So we could deal with some of that deeper stuff. And if you don't feel like we're dealing with it next couple lessons, we could do a one-on-one, you and I. Or I could get Reese involved, which she's awesome. All right? Have gratitude for a few things, guys. That which you have now. I want you guys to take this super serious. No matter how fluffy this sounds for you, that which you have now. No matter how little you have a a lot more than 90% of the people. The fact you have internet, you've got a bed to go into, you got a breakfast waiting for you tomorrow or money in your bank account to buy it. The fact you can hear my voice over the internet, you got a headset and speakers. The fact you got internet to begin with. The fact you got a computer, you have more than the fact you can go to your washroom and it's enclosed. Did you know that? 80% of the population does not have an enclosed washroom. Think about that for a moment. They're still using holes in the ground. And what you have right now, right here, is a lot more than others. And that shouldn't be even what's making you happy. You should just appreciate it. That which you have now needs gratitude. Every moment, thing, and or person you need to be grateful for that you have. All right? The things you desire, like I want to be a successful trader, for example. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have that on your mind. Be grateful for it as if though you are one right now. Right? I don't care that you're on demo and you haven't traded. That means nothing. I don't care if you've traded for 2 weeks and you're negative. Who cares? You are a positive trader, and that's what you have to be grateful for right now, for the opportunity that you could even do this. None of that matters. And if you notice something, they both focus on now. I'll tell you one thing that really started to change my mindset and perspective when I started to build really good relationships with people around me is I stopped focusing on trying to change the past. That's gone. I realized there's nothing I could do to guarantee a future. All I really have at any given moment is right now. I'll never have anything else. I can only change right now. That's all I'm responsible for. All right, what you resist persists. I want you guys to write that down. Whatever you resist will persist because that's what you think of. And we're going to get into that in a moment. All right, once you're grateful for what you have, you're living at cause and you're living for now. So what I want you guys to start doing effective tonight is to start doing a gratitude journal. All right, I want you guys to take this very serious. I want you to practice gratitude. Step number 1, every evening before you go to bed, think of your day, and thinking of your day allows you to re-experience it, by the way, which is great. Write something specific that you're grateful for. All right, one person, one experience that you had today, and one thing materialistic. Write something you're grateful for. Write it down physically. When you're practicing gratuity, you're practicing manifestation directly. I'll show you why in just 1 second. Step 2, every morning express gratitude now for something you desire to have. You could say, It is now 4 p.m. on Wednesday, May 9th, and I'm very grateful for having such a successful trading day. I'm very grateful for having said to one person, I love you, or one person, I'm sorry, or anything. I don't know, whatever you need to do in your own life. You guys know better than I do. And further than that, your subconscious knows better than you do consciously. All right? We already mentioned that, all right? Don't skip this. Do a gratitude journal. I got one. I write it down on my phone with my pencil, so it's actually handwritten. All right? I'll tell you why gratitude gets you more. If you're not grateful for what you have, what makes you think you're going to get more? Just think about that. In all honesty, just think about it logically. If you're a logical person, if you're not grateful for what you got, what makes you think you're going to get more? Do you know someone who's unappreciative of what they have who continues to get more with abundance? Do you know anyone like that? Tell me if you do. That's freaking amazing. Do you know anyone, even anyone that you've been told of, who does not appreciate what they have and continues to get more rained on? I hate this car. Here's a Mercedes. I hate this Mercedes. Here's a Ferrari. Trump, you know what's funny? One thing Trump does know, I mean, he's got a lot of confidence, but one thing that Trump does do is he is grateful for a lot of stuff. If you look at him and what he says, he appreciates the quality of lifestyle that he lives. This isn't a political opinion, but one thing you'll know is the way he talks. He talks with confidence. He talks with certainty. He talks in terms of what he wants, not what he does not want. Right? Trump didn't go in there and say, I might beat Hillary Clinton. He said, I am going to be the next president. And everyone's like, ha ha. Right? Trump is actually trained to speak neurolinguistic programming, by the way. He's trained to get you to do things that he says based on his linguistic patterns. But anywho, based on gratitude gets you more. All right? Here's a few last quotes. Those who believe they are good people and money is bad end up with no money. Those who believe they are bad people and money is for good people end up with no money. Those who feel love for money and money loves them, that there is good and bad in this world and universe, but it's all just one, are the ones that end up with it. All right? Because most people repel money based on their limitations, their inward beliefs of what they lack. And because few people are willing to receive money because they limit themselves, the few people that do receive it receive a lot of it. That's why there's 1%. Because 1%'s got the money mindset. I believe in true abundance. I believe that if the other 99% of people switched their thinking, I believe we'd all be abundant. And there's scientific evidence and proof of that. All right? So we got to develop a positive relationship with money. If you have a negative perception towards money, we're going to work on that next week. I'll show you specific strategies. All right, let me leave it off on this. I got another 5 minutes. Is it too much, guys? Is it dense? That's why I recorded it. It's definitely going to be something you probably have to watch over once or twice. Just as long as you do the exercises designed to give you a shift. All right, perfect. Let's keep going. Everything happens in the mind first. Anything that exists in the physical realm started in the mind first. I challenge you guys to find something that's not true. I have a pen right now in front of me. This pen's got 5 different colors I could click. Blue, green, whatever it is, red, black. Somebody thought of this in their head before it became a thing. Architects think of buildings. Designers and product designers think of products. Steve Jobs thought of the iPhone. Alfonso, boom, as a man thinketh, so he is. Anything that exists in the physical realm started in your mind first. All right? Protect your thoughts. I want you guys to write this down. I'm having a little bit of a midlife crisis, or when I'm having a midlife crisis, I'm going to tattoo this on myself somewhere. Life is images of the mind expressed. You guys get that? Life is images of the mind expressed. And what that means is what you think is what becomes. Exactly what Alfonso just said. What a man or woman thinketh, so he is. All right. That's why I said I am is the most important sentence in your life, because whatever you say after it becomes true. All right. Avoid bad news. Stop reading bad news. Stop looking at bad news. When you're driving down the highway and you see a wreck, do not look at the wreck. What is that wreck going to help you do? It'll feed you negativity. Avoid bad news. Avoid negativity. When you're driving past an accident, emanate as much love as you can for that person and believe they're going to heal. That's the best you could do. Looking at negativity, it's not going to help you in any way. And if you can't help yourself, you can't help anyone else. All right? Act like you are creating your tomorrow today, because you actually are. If you're thinking that I'm going to blow my trading account, you're going to do it. That's the directive you're giving your unconscious mind. You're going to prepare yourself to do that unconsciously. And it's frustrating when it happens because you consciously don't want it to, but unconsciously you've told yourself to do it. So you're fighting against yourself. All right? Think about the things you think about. Always have control of your thoughts. Be deliberate, and you're going to succeed. I'll give you guys, yeah, right, Tasha? That's why there's so much traffic around accidents. Every time I'm on the 401, the highway here in Toronto, one motorcyclist guy went around the world famously and crashed one spot in the entire world. It was the 401 in Toronto. Terrible highway. Tasha, you probably wouldn't be surprised at that. Every time there's a massive pile up on the highway, I'm like, there's probably a flat tire somewhere with a police car 2 kilometers ahead of me. Which is what, 1 mile for the US people? But a little bit less than 1 mile. Here's the formula for success. All right? It's simple, and you got to respect it as such. Control your thoughts, obviously, but attention, right, where your attention is, plus where your intention is, plus what you believe is what becomes. All right? So if you're giving attention to a lack of security in trading, you've already blown the first part of the formula. If you're giving attention to trading and making it a secure job for yourself so you have more time to spend with your family and live abundantly, and you intend to do it and you believe it, it's going to become true. Just whenever something that you want isn't happening, it's one of these 3 things. I'm going to tell you one other thing. Don't want. Never want anything. All right? Anything that you want, you have to realize, for the most part, if it's materialistic, it's yours to borrow anyways. The problem with wealth is people want to accumulate and hoard, never realizing that anything you have is just borrowed, including your body. You're going to give it all back. All right? There's no sense in hugging everything under your pillow and clutching it. Everything's meant to share, distribute, and not accumulate and hoard. And the reason I'm saying this is, don't want desire. You can have desire, but I forbid you to want. Want is desperation. Desire is putting out positive energy. Desire means it's a more positive thought process. Wanting is a negative process. I want this. It means you can't get it. You can't have it. I want it. No, you can't have ice cream. Tell your mom as a 7-year-old, Mom, I desire ice cream. I don't know what mother wouldn't buy her ice cream for her kid when it says that. All right? Remember that. Attention plus intention plus belief is reality. All right. Last thing. How would you guys like to know one state of mind during which it's pretty much impossible to think negative thoughts? This is perfect for trading, by the way. This is what I call the trading state. David, I would like to have. I would ask, for what purpose? It depends on what it is. I would like to have something. Here's the thing. Do you mind if I use your name for the answer? I don't think it's very confidential. I like using names. I want to be personal with you guys. Okay, Lori. When you say I would like to have, remember, your mind, your subconscious mind, doesn't have control over what you think. It just creates whatever you think. So let me give you an example. I would like to have security. What does your subconscious mind like? What does it hear? Like to have security. I'm going to put you in a state of liking to have security. So now you don't have security. You're liking to have security, but there you go. You're in a state of liking. You can like it all you want. That doesn't mean you're going to get it. The state of liking is not the state of acquiring it. You know what I mean? It's similar to food. If you ever say I'm hungry, I would like to eat. If you sit at the table and you just like to eat, you're going to die of hunger. When you actually end up eating is when your state of liking turns into a state of action to get up and get the food. Simple distinction, but it's crazy. So if you like to have something, the danger there is you're going to create a reality in which you like to have it. Right? Does that make sense? Exactly. Boom. I will eat. You don't mess with that. Damn right. Your subconscious mind's like, let's go eat, Lori. Where do you want to go? Now you're thinking about actionable stuff. Perfect. That's a great shift. Here's the hack, the state, by the way. How would you like to get into a state of self-awareness? Optimal performance state. Athletes across the world use this. In fact, the best athletes like Michael Jordan have described this without knowing they're using it. Now they're teaching it to all athletes for the most part. And how to get into the state quickly. I'll teach you. Here's how most people look at stuff. This is called foveal vision. It's probably about the 30% of the window of information right in front of you. Foveal vision is focus. All right? You're focusing on one thing in front of your vision. Remember, the man and woman of 1,000 years ago were hunters. When did they need to focus sharply? When they're going to hunt. A focused state in a foveal vision, straight ahead and direct, like small awareness, is a state that elicits your subconscious, not your subconscious, your lizard brain, your primal state. That primal state is designed to avert, it's designed to keep you safe, solve conflict, and get combative if it has to win a fight for survival. Trading in your foveal state, focusing on one centerpiece of your screen, you're gonna get killed. That's not how you trade. That's not how you do anything. Focus is a mind state. It's not a physical thing. I wish they would describe that in school. But here's the thing. If you expand your awareness, it's called your expanded awareness. This is called Hakalau. David, have you heard of this, Hakalau? This is a Hawaiian thing. It's a tradition from a long time ago. It's a state of mind for extreme positivity and awareness. In Hakalau, you're not able to feel any sort of negative emotions. It comes from Hawaiian culture. All right, it translates to a party in your mind. Is that true, David? I want a Hakalau. Hakalau. All right, here's how you do it. All right, what you do is right now, just listen to my voice and just do this. Look at a spot on your wall. So like in front of you. If you're looking at the mirror, just turn a little bit. You don't need to look at the monitor. I'm not going to show much stuff there. All right, so turn a little bit. Look at a spot on the wall directly in front of you. Now move 20 degrees above eye level. So remember, 45 is almost halfway between. It's pretty much like an angle, right? But just 20 degrees above. Just slightly above. All right. Now, expand your peripheral vision. Notice maybe some things around you that you don't. I don't know. If you're looking directly ahead, notice what's slightly outside of that picture as you stay 20 degrees above. Notice a little bit more to the side. Right now where I am, I'm seeing the monitor on the left of me, which is Mark's monitor. I see Victoria's whole station. Expand it a little bit more so you see more and more of it. At one point, you're almost going to get to about 180 degrees. All right? And the way I like to do it is you could stick your hands out and move them aside slowly. And as you move them aside, keep focus on them. Move them aside until you can't see them anymore. All right? And hold that for a second. Right at the peripheral where you can't see. All right? Hold that for a split second. And now bring your eye vision level down back to the center. Notice the difference of state. It's almost like an insane. If anyone's ever experienced an event where their adrenaline skyrocketed, that's exactly what it sort of feels like. You have extreme awareness. Right? Hold that for a second. And at a certain point, the 20 degrees just allows you to connect to that expanded consciousness. But if you just look down and practice on expanding your awareness to the side, that right there is your perfect focus. You're not able to feel negativity in that state. All you can feel is happy, alert, aware, focused, ready to kick butt. You could get in that in a split second. Here's a tip. You don't even need to look 20 degrees up. At some point, you're going to get good enough where you just get into that right away. I'm probably in that state about 95% of the time during my day, even when I trade. A lot of people ask me, well, you have 4 monitors, how do you look at all of them? I say easy at the same time. That's also how you read, by the way, speed reading. You don't have to look at every single word. Look at 4 corners of the page. You're going to take that info in at the same time. Is that cool or what? Try this tomorrow as you trade. Stay in that state. That's your stop loss. The second you get out of that state, that's it. You're out of the trade. Watch what happens. Guaranteed, drastic, instantaneous improvements for your trading. That's Hakalau right there. Hawaiian started this stuff. I'm just bringing you the message. That Hakalau state's responsible for a lot of success in athletes. Like, I mean, if you're ever playing hockey and you have that like super alert moment, people, when they describe it, they're describing this. They don't understand they could get into it with a snap of the fingers. Everything slows down. Everything becomes apparent. Did anyone experience a really cool thing with that? Like a very calm, cool, tranquil, kind of almost like a meditative awake state. Yeah, cool, eh? Challenge you guys to trade from this perspective. It's called Hakalau. All right. In summary, we've gone through a lot today. Done. Lori says increased circulation. Interesting. You notice increased circulation? I notice when I get in Hakalau, my heart rate slows down. I'm a lot more alert. Everything I thought about the past and everything I thought about the future sort of just washes away. Like kind of you expand your consciousness, or when you expand kind of your vision sideways, I expand more of the now, and kind of everything else, the future and present, just get pushed aside. That's kind of what happens to me when I get into that. And I love it. It just puts you right here and now. And if you think about it, that's all we freaking have is right now. That's all we got. That's all we're worth as human beings is right now. It's pretty cool. All right. In summary, for today's lesson, we went through a lot. I want you guys to get your values. It's very important that you go through. Elicit your values using the questions I provided you. Get somebody to help you. If not, you could do it yourself. That's totally fine. Just make sure you're getting unconscious answers you're not thinking. Recategorize them for your top 10. This is what drives you. This is the fuel for your drive. These are the kind of things that you're going to be able to tell your subconscious mind to get it to act. This is how you're going to have to shape trading to look like for you to be successful. There is no secret ingredient for everybody. There is just one for you. And that depends on where you are at the moment. You. All right. Muscle test for congruency. If you're ever in doubt what you believe, muscle test. Use the lean test. Get a pendulum. Swing it in front of your eyes. Subconscious mind will actually swing it. Use it if you're ever in doubt for a trade. Should I get out of this trade? Should I get into a trade? It will tell you what to do. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. It's yourself telling yourself what to do. All right? It's that inner voice that you have inside your head that people are given drugs for. I hear things inside my voice. You're supposed to. Like you're a thinking human being. Use powerful affirmations. I want you guys to use them in the morning, 10 times in writing, 10 times audibly, and practice gratuity. Tonight, when you finish this webinar, tell yourself what you're grateful for. One person, one thing, and one experience that you had today. And do that for the rest of your day. You want to see something really cool? Many times we share our negative experiences with our significant other and we create an association of negativity. If you come home and say, this boss did this, your spouse is going to associate you to a negative state because every time they see you, you bring negativity. She's not doing that consciously, she's doing that subconsciously. Then problems start to happen. So what you want to do instead is practice gratuity. Before you go to bed, tell your significant other, hey, honey, listen to this. This is what I'm thankful for. This is the experience I'm thankful for. This is one thing I'm thankful for and one person I'm thankful for today. Thank God I have all this. I'm thankful for you. And good night. Just that alone. I always laugh and say, hey, here's some relationship advice. Anyone want relationship advice? I suck at it. Haha. But that's all it takes. I'll tell you another thing. When my fiance cries or I feel negative about something, we don't hug each other. This is a little bit outside the scope of Trade Pro, but here's what happens when you hug somebody. If they're negative and you hug them, they're like, oh, wow, that's so nice. But you're actually associating your hug to negativity. Remember, if you're happy, you smile. If you smile, you're happy. And now your hug next time starts to bring negativity. So that's how sometimes we train ourselves. We don't hug each other. Like, let's talk. Let's hug each other when you feel good. All right. Use the trading state 100% of the time you're trading. Use it as a stop. I'll call this the Hackalao stop from now going forward. If you're not in expanded awareness, if you're zoned into one point on a chart, you're out. Now you're starting to focus on the wrong things. All right. Here's a riddle for next week, and we're done. You guys could Google this. This is mind-blowing. I love to think about questions and statements like this because it really expands your mind. I go into meditative state and I think about stuff like this. And then I'll show you something else that takes you to a really deep meditative state. It's kind of risky to do on your own unless you meditate for a couple months first. In the absence of that which is not, that which is not. You guys think about that. In the absence of that which is not, that which is not. Len, if you're religious, this will make sense to you. It's an interesting thing to ponder. You guys could Google it. We'll talk about it next week. All right, next lesson, we're going to talk about dealing with your trading-related fears, and we're going to tie it to values. I'm going to need a volunteer again. Talk about fear of loss, fear of being wrong, fear of success, analysis paralysis, your gambling mentality, and I'm going to do some NLP techniques on you. I'm going to do some anchors, some like to dislike associations, a bunch of stuff. It'll be fun. All right. And a few exercises for excellence, and I'll have a recorded hypnosis either next week or the week after. I haven't written it yet, and I don't want to rush it. Cool beans? Good stuff for what? That's it. That's all I had for you for today. That's all. Just a small... Sorry, I couldn't do more than 53 slides in 90 minutes. That's all the energy I have for you, but... You know what's cool? When I deliver this stuff, I'm telling you guys, I'm channeling stuff. Like I connect to an energy, and I present from Hackalao too. Whenever I present, you guys see like my pupils are dilated because I'm taking in a lot of info, and it all works out. People ask me, how do you do these things without any cuts? I just do it. Just believe that I do it, and it just happens. Laurent says, man, now I got to buy a new book. That's good. All right, Barbara, take care. Thank you for tuning in. Ronnie, thank you as well. Tasha, you're coolest beans. Alfonso, thank you. Len, thank you for your participation and volunteering today. We really appreciate you. Tasha, thank you as well for volunteering to step up. I challenge you guys to do these values. Len, I'll send you yours, and you can reorganize them to the top 10. This lesson will be available in about 30 to 40 minutes on the elite section of the website under lesson 2. And I'll show you member area, my courses. Trading Psychology Mastery course. And then lesson 2, values, gratitudes, and affirmations. It'll be here. This is still lesson 1 because I haven't put the code in to update it because I haven't uploaded it. But here's the resources. All right. And here are your takeaway techniques for the week. Cool. Questions, comments, concerns, email us, support@tradeproacademy.com. We'd love to help you out. I'm going to stop the recording here. Hope you guys enjoyed it and have a great evening. And if any of you have a question, you can go ahead and ask now. Forever hold your peace.